Hello, everyone. This is Toni Vanschoyck, and welcome to another edition of Wealth Rescue. And we're so excited to have you here today. Now, you will be hearing this podcast, and also you're going to be hearing about all the events that we're doing, really cool things that are happening. And I will give you that information here at the end of this particular podcast. And if you're watching us on YouTube, welcome. If you're hearing me for the first time, welcome. Sometimes I'll just spitball. Sometimes we'll have guests. But I also do research on things that are trending and what's going on. But I want to talk about some fundamentals first before I really roll into different areas. And I made my wealth in network marketing. I love it. I'm still in it to this day. But what it's also allowed me to do is it's also allowed me to really make a lot of mistakes, which hopefully I will be able to steer you away from making the same mistakes that I did and wasting millions of dollars in the process of doing it. So with that being said, this podcast it's released every Monday at 12 p.m. You can also find us on our YouTube as well. And that's youtube.com/wealth rescue. All right. So let's get down to brass tacks here. Okay. So here we have, and you guys, I want to talk about the mindset and how you attract other people into your business, into you being an entrepreneur. We actually have 7 streams of income. So we're very diversified, but I've learned a lot of things along the way. But the one thing that you have to have first and foremost is you have to have mindset. Mindset is everything. Mindset is, training your brain to really look at the possibilities. Mindset is also looking at what you're grateful for instead of, it's looking at the glass like it's either half empty or half full, right? Or is the cup overflowing? So really and truly for that to happen is that you, in order to build and attract those clients, those customers, those business partners that you want, it all starts with you. And it all starts with, well, first of all, you should have a personal mission statement. You should have a company mission statement. That's non-negotiable. And I have one, and it really encompasses all of our businesses. But the one thing that I do know is that I want to help provide value, and I want to help people not make the pitfalls that I did. So the first thing is that, and you guys, I have caught myself in how my business goes down when my mindset is not on point. Okay. So sometimes you can carry around a small journal. There's pocket size one, purse size ones that you can fit. Most men now at this point carry, like a laptop bag or a backpack or whatever, but you can always have something that you can write things down on. And a lot of times when I'm doing, I have stinking thinking going on, I'm going to go in my notes and I'm going to write the opposite, or I'm going to handwrite it down. Well, what is the opposite of that negative thought? Another great thing too is that you turn on the radio and you just start dancing, or you pick up a book or listen to an audible of your favorite podcast, or, listen to, one of your favorite authors talking. But it's all about how we can pivot. So mindset is everything, but I'm going to give you a couple of keys. And I shared this on a call a few days ago, and I want to give you a couple of keys of things that you can do, okay, to really pivot. So one is that you truly want to build your own culture. John Maxwell said it the best: culture eats strategy for breakfast. So having culture in your business, in your relationships, if you're building teams, if you have employees, is that your culture is number one. So what does that look like for you? And culture can embed your pillars, your core values. That can be a part of it. So for instance, like my pillars: faith, freedom, finance, fitness, family. Those are just some of the things that I base, my entire life talking about, because you guys, I work every day because I love it. I love what I do. I love seeing the aha moments go off when people finally get that light bulb, right? That means more to me than anything, but that's me providing value. I was just listening to John Maxwell's recent podcast with Ed Milet. And, my goal this year is to get on a lot more speaking stages. And he dropped a nugget, right? It's the power of the pause. And I'm like, I need to do more of this, right? So think about that for a second. And also too, when people are thinking, you've got to give them an opportunity for their brain to catch up. So building that culture around, and that's also what you exemplify. You're the leader of your culture. You are the leader of what you're trying to create out there. And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you have a brick and mortar. It doesn't matter if you're in network marketing. It doesn't matter, if you're online or you make products, whatever the case is that it's all starts with you. Okay. The other thing is that you have to have the ability to tell great stories. I can give you all the facts. I can give you the facts about how we grew to a $3 billion team, 500,000 distributors, 5 million customers, blah, 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 blah. No one cares about that. What they care about is they care about where were you before this happened, what happened to you along the journey, and how are you serving and helping people now? So if you remember those three key things for telling a story, again, where you were before, that's first. What happened to you along the journey to where you are now and to what is going to happen in the future, right? All great stories have those three main components. Now, if you need help curating a story, you can just, research it out. We're going to talk about that, how to curate a story and really get into details, where that's concerned, because this is what you're going to be sharing on your social media. This is what you're going to be sharing when you're sending out text blasts and also email blasts to your current clients. Okay. So you have to be a master storyteller. Okay. And if you didn't hear our podcast that we did last week, when I had Matt on, go listen to that, because he curates how to, put together an awesome story. The other thing is that you've got to have weekly activities and you have to have face-to-face activities. Now, there's a book out there called Traction, and it's by Gino Wickman. He talks about, this, and again, daily method of operations, yes, but you also have to have a weekly, a monthly, a quarterly, and a yearly method of operations. So what does that look like for you? So I'm going to give you an example. My business partners, I get them together the first of every month. Okay. That is for at least a half hour to 60 minutes. So we can hammer out everything that we need to do for that month. And it's going to be based on goals that we want to achieve, right? What's our overall arching goal, that we want to achieve this month? What is it for next month? What is it for the following month, right? Because you want to have a 90-day outlook. But then, when we do the quarterly meetings, right, we're going to examine what went right over the past 90 days versus now. Okay. What could we fix going forward? And what do we need to fix going forward? The other thing is you have to have measurable, attainable goals. Now for, growth, 20% per quarter, that is, especially if you're more established in your business, is a great goal. So what does that look like, for the next 90 days? So you're going to have to really get down to the nitty gritty and say, where do I want to grow? How do I want to grow my business? What does 20% look like? Okay. And then the people that are working in their strengths, you have them focus on what they're good at. And that they're going to be part of that growth proponent for that 20%. Okay. Another thing we can spend hours on, but I'm just giving you a high level overview right now. Okay. Building relationships. I don't care what you do. Relationship capital is key. That means that you need to be getting into rooms with like-minded entrepreneurs that are better, smarter, and making more money than you are. That is key. So, I want to learn from the 9 and 10 figure income earners. I want to be a part and be in that room of people that are kicking butt and taking names, and what can I learn from them? So get into those rooms where you are going to be building relationship capital. And I'll tell you a really simple way of how you can build relationships, right? One is that there is an acronym that has served me very well. And it's just like, I don't even think about it anymore. It's just a rote skill. And that's called the acronym FORM. So one, it stands for family, occupation, recreation, and what matters most, or motivation. So when I'm meeting people, I ask about family. I ask them what they do, their occupation, because what that's going to do, they're going to ask you what you do. And then it opens up more of that conversation. I'm going to ask them our relationships, right? And then M is for what matters most. So when you start this dialogue with, and I can start this dialogue with somebody at the coffee counter, or if I'm in the grocery store, I'm always looking to work my business on purpose and talk to people. Because I will tell you, yes, in the digital space, it's great. You can, meet people that you don't know, but if you're not out about talking to people, that is that is a huge thing that can derail you. So don't, always do that. Always be out there talking about your business and working your business on purpose. Okay. And then the M in there, what matters most? Motivation. Okay. What are things that really speak to their soul? Do they like to volunteer? Do they work with a nonprofit? Do they, coach Little League, or maybe they're a mentor for, a church group, or whatever the case may be? You can find that out very quickly just by listening to keywords that they talk about. And most people will talk about things that they love first. Okay. So you use that acronym form and you are going to be a master relationship builder. And the other thing is that I meet people all the time and they say, I'm terrible with names. Okay. No, you don't want that at all. Don't tell yourself. That's part of mindset. I always try to remember people's names. I say it when I meet them. I shake their hand. And you know what? When we're done, I say their name again. It's to ingrain it in my brain, right? Because the most important thing that you can do is remember someone's name and address them and acknowledge them. Okay? So the other thing that you need to do in order to be a great leader in what you're doing is, one, you've got to lead by example. But the other thing is too, is that you guys, entrepreneurs, we decide. Okay. We decide on what we get to do, when we get to do it, what time we get to do it. And so therefore, if you are listening to this and you're a W-2 or you have a full-time job, you need to find something to get you out of that W-2. And the reason is, and even though if you love it, you can go out and contract on your own. Even if you love it, okay, you still need to be your own business owner. So whether that is that you're going to start something that's going to bring in money on the side so you can do your full-time thing, it does not matter. But you need to have a plan to do it. But you need to set aside specific hours so that you know you're going to work on the dream. And I call it a dream goal because you can't have a dream without having goals. Okay? The next thing is that you have to look at everyone. You have to look at everyone is that they have a potential to come into your business. Whether it is as a client, as a customer, whether they're going to teach you something and it's going to be a golden nugget and an aha moment, it doesn't matter. But each individual person that you meet can provide value. Okay. The last thing is, and we'll conclude this, is that, okay, you've got to have regular daily method of operations, daily habits. What are you doing every day to move your business closer to the end goal? This would be income producing activities. And I know this example is going to sound really simple, but everyone that I talk to, okay, I don't care if they're single. I don't care if they're a single parent. I don't care if they're married. I don't care if, both parents are working outside of the home. It does not matter. But here's the simplest example that I can give you is that if you're working on the dream and you're cleaning your own toilets, that's a problem. The best thing that you can do and the most cost-effective thing that you can do is to hire your own housekeeper. And here's the reason why. And let's just say you have a small place. And let's say it's an hour and a half a week, 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week. I don't care. You can funnel that time into creating wealth. Okay. So everyone that I work with, if they don't have a housekeeper, that's the first thing that they're doing. Because I'm going to be able to show them, hey, look, you hire a housekeeper for $150 and we can go do X, Y, and Z and you're going to make $1,000. Who wins? But if you're there cleaning your own toilets, that's time that you're losing money on. right? It's the same if you hire a landscaper, right? You're not going to make that money by spending 2 hours cutting, pruning, and cleaning up your yard. It's the same principle. Not only that, you're also giving back to them and helping them put food on the table. So look at it from that kind of view. Okay. It's not, I can't afford it. It's how can I afford it? Okay. The other thing is that you also, for yourself, like every day I get up, I review my list from yesterday and I onboard myself again. Onboarding is doing those income producing activities that are going to increase the money coming in every day, every week, every month, every year. So what does that look like for you? There's an onboarding system that it's going to be different depending on your business. But this is going to be about you, gaining more clients, having more contacts, reaching out to people, building those relationships, having events, opening your mouth, getting on stages, speaking. It's going to be doing the follow up. And it's also going to be promoting it correctly on social media. Now, why do I say that? Okay. Because most people that post on social media, they do it wrong. That's a whole nother course that we can talk about. I am not the expert in that. I have a couple of experts though, that I could bring on that are just crushing it in that space. And I'm learning it from them. Okay. The other thing is, I talked about that acronym form, be a master question asker. And the reason is that you don't want to go on too long about what you do. You want to make it more about them and what they do and becoming that master question asker. So I'm always thinking, okay, well, why do they want to do this? Let's peel back that layer. Well, why do they want to do this? Let's peel back that layer. Why do they want to do this? Let's peel back that layer, because it's usually going to be 4 or 5 reasons that you need to get to before you actually figure it out with them. Okay. The last thing is lay off the pressure. Okay. If you meet someone and you really want them to be a part of this or a part of what you're doing, build the relationship first and then ask for the business. Just say, hey, you know what? I think you're absolutely phenomenal. I know that I could help you. I would love to get started. Could I give you some more information about that? And you guys, that's it. But just ask after you've built the trust. Okay. Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is key. So for anything that you do at all, enthusiasm needs to, and you guys, you can feel it sometimes through when you're doing trainings like this, but there's nothing else that replaces face-to-face. This is why I go to networking events. I go to masterminds. I'm in mastermind groups, is because those tangible face-to-face events, those in my book are non-negotiables. Okay. And the last thing is, I told you, you've got to lead yourself first, and then others will follow. And one of my number one things, you've got to be genuine and you have to be ethical. Because if you are not genuine and ethical in everything that you do in life, you're never going to get ahead and people will not trust you. So if you make a mistake, be quick to apologize, own up to it, tell them that you've learned from it, that it will never happen again. Okay. But it's always really great to admit that you make mistakes and that vulnerability. People will appreciate that. People do not expect perfection. I know I make mistakes all the time. I'm quick to apologize to my business partners. I'm quick to apologize to my mentor. I'm quick to apologize to my kids, my husband. I don't say I'm sorry all the time, but when I genuinely am, and if you find that you say you're sorry a lot, you're going to have to, because I used to do that all the time. Anybody else out there, right? Is that, you apologize when you don't need to. And so that makes you also looks like a weak personality or a weak link, but we're so worried about offending people. Don't worry. And if somebody truly is offended, they're going to let you know. You can have a dialogue. You can agree to disagree. It's one of the lost art forms is debating with people. And let me tell you, I love to debate. Do I love to be right? Sure, I do. But you know what? I'm not always right all the time, right? I just know what I know so well. And in the areas that really pique my interest, you're not going to win an argument with me. It's kind of like network marketing. You're not going to win an argument with me, right? Because I've been doing this for 30 years and we've been able to change a lot of people's lives. Our software platform that we've built, it's the best out there. I just don't go and I don't go out there and do shit without it being the best. And so that is what I want you to strive to be, is to be better every single day. And to look at where you've come from over this past year, this past 5 years, past 10 years, right? Look at how far you've come. You're not going to notice it on a day-to-day basis, but if you look at it month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year, you're going to see these huge changes, right? We had no idea in 2014 that we were going to be the #1 hair care brand in the world. Had no idea. And now we look back and say, yeah, pretty damn good shampoo. I'm not going to lie. But the best part is that you have the opportunity to be the best. And that's how you're going to view yourself. So you guys, thank you so much. I so appreciate you being here today. This has been a dream of mine to provide more value for more people. So I'm doing a super cool event. I'm doing this with the king of real estate, self-storage investments, Joe Evangelisti. I'm doing it with a #1 best-selling author and also hypnotist, Pam Pressman Greenberg, and the queen, Melissa Harris from Infinite Banking. We have all of these amazing people lined up for a power-packed event. If you are face-to-face and want to come to Charleston, it is September 23rd from 9 to 3. And if you're virtual, we have a virtual option if you can't make it out here. And I know that we know people all over the world. I just want to provide value and share with you on how you can truly make your money work for you. So tune in, get your ticket. The ticket link is at the bottom, and also all of my information where you can find me, connect with me personally, and I cannot wait to speak with you. All right, you guys, take care. Love you. Bye-bye.